Hello, my dudettes and dudes. Um, Back with, ancient maps. So this is like, the ancient map of Cuba here with its like nose going down, which is this part. So it's at the wrong angle here. It's at kind of opposite angles, these two, but I just took this photo really quickly to show what seems to be his legs seem to be seem to be well, I guess that's all it shows. Oh, no, there we go. Boom, that's what's up. So yeah, this, it may be that part of this is one leg and then part of it is the other leg, something like that. Or it could be this whole thing is one leg and the other leg is something else or more symbolic. So yeah, and I think I found this dude's eye or this chick's eye or whatever. Is like, see, there's like a little kind of squinty eye, and so I was looking for that because I'm like, what? Wonder if that's real. Seemed pretty deliberate. So yeah. So yeah, I think it's this right here. I think that's the squinty eye. Not sure exactly what it is, but other than a giant squinty eye of like some sort of animal god avatar. So yeah, there you go. More details on that guy. Get out of here, Google. Yeah, I have a few windows open. It's true. Sorry. So this is Shetland. This is like a better. Well, it's better other than that they, it's so damaged that they destroyed his, this leg. You can only see part of this leg, but the rest of it is at least a clearer picture than the other photos I've had. So, it kind of shows like, and I removed, like, there's another couple islands up here which I don't think are part of the avatar. So I pasted like water over them so they don't distract from this guy, his form. So yeah, it seems like this is his head, this is like his chin, this is his nose, I guess, this is his mouth, and the eye is maybe like this inlet or something, or this, yeah, guessing it's this inlet. And so yeah, big old elbow sticking back here. And even in here, oh yeah, his neck is like weird, like it goes up and then in. So that's either that this part that goes in there, or it's that his neck is this part here of the head, and then it kind of indents a little bit under the chin, and then so that could be that, one or the other. His belt sticks out, that's like this thing. I guess it's that, or maybe he's wearing one of those like penis sheaths that people used to wear in the Neolithic times, and they still wear it in like New Guinea and stuff. And yeah, this is legs. And the front arm, I'm guessing, is like this part here, and I'm guessing this staff is somehow represented by this and maybe some other islands around there. It might be largely symbolic. I don't know. I'll look, see if I can find any actual details of this, but it might be quite symbolic as like a Heka staff, just to symbolize something that's blocking the way. And so yeah, that's fine. That's like Scottish I mean, it's like near Scotland, but it was has often been controlled by like Denmark or some, some kind of Nordic countries, and probably populated by people from there, just like Orkney, I believe. And yeah, this is the Hierakonpolis Tomb 100 map, 5,500 euros old. Okay, so this is something I'm excited about. This is, you know, this is this god or whatever. So it's Okinawa, and I think Kumejima is part of Okinawa. I guess Okinawa is like an archipelago. But that's a specific part of it. This is kind of the main clump of like Okinawa, which is his body. And then and then this is his hat. So you can see it's like goes up, it's pointy, and then it has this, thing that comes out and kind of curls around from the front. And so that's like this thing there. And then it has a substantial part below there, which is like this part. And so, it's not completely exact, but it's very, it's obvious what they're portraying there. And then here you have his beard, and then this little island, or I don't know if it's one or two or more islands right next to his beard. So that's like this thing that like comes off his beard there. And I think in this one, he doesn't actually have a beard. I think maybe in this one, the beard part is like his nose or his chin or something. And then those little islands are just like that, whatever that is. Little kind of ink kind of thing. And then, of course, this part is what he's holding. I don't know if this is a flail. It might be a flail. And then his back kind of sticks out, and then curls around, and then comes down, and then his legs go way down here. So his legs are going way down here. And this part may represent his throne somewhat. So yeah, there you go. But this was like, these are described as just being depictions of the pharaoh. So this is, I think this is the Scorpion King, or he's called the Scorpion King. I think these are pre-dynastic or basically prehistoric, but I'm not exactly sure. Very early Egyptian stuff. And then this, I think, is King Narmer. So he's a very famous pre-dynastic, quote unquote, pharaoh, proto-pharaoh. But so it's like they become Okinawa. I mean, it may be that they become every island, but it's just interesting that this is the only one that's like inside the shrine, inside the cabin of the boat. And so I think that that could be just, based on cosmology, that it's kind of like a cabin of the boat between these different seamounts on this side and some of the seamounts on this side. But it could also be significant in terms of the importance of Okinawa in their cosmology. I think it was probably associated with the sunrise, because it's like the boat, the boat of the sunrise here, which seems to have, Isis and Nephthys, or no, rather Isis and Nephthys, and yeah, and You know, it has, I think it has the sun itself, like it's not visible here, but a little round island, maybe Jeju Island or another round island in that area. You know, it has Japan around here, the Kuril Islands, Tsushima, Iki, and Okinawa is right there. So the main difference is this in the I think this is the earliest version, but it actually doesn't have the hat. So they didn't include this island. They just are showing this guy. And yeah. So I don't know if that means he's the captain of the boat of the sunrise or something. I'm kind of a little tired. I just led a march. I called a peace march today to coincide with the national march in DC of like the People's Party and the Libertarian Party and whatnot. So together with Keith McHenry, founder of Food Not Bombs, we organized this event. And then he threw his back out putting on all the flyers for it. So I had to basically lead the event. He couldn't show up to the actual thing. So it worked out. You know, we marched through Santa Cruz and, you know, we got a pretty good reception. We got very few hecklers. We had some counter protesters, though, who were pretty adorable, you know, mainstream news consumers. You know how they are. They're just like, Putin puppet. I'm like, well, I don't really like Putin. I like peace. But okay. So yeah, the figure within the canopy is probably the king. So that's just an assumption that they make, I guess, probably the king. Other later depiction shows the pharaoh sitting like in the mace. Sitting, I'm guessing they mean like this, in the mace heads of the coming kings, Scorpion, Center, and Narmer. But here he stands up and is possibly dancing like three other female figures flanking him. So that would be like he's dancing like Isis, Nephthys, and Ma'at, who are all aspects of Venus. Venus rising, Venus setting, and Venus overhead or something. And so this would be Okinawa here, and he's right next to this other island. I forget what it's called. Or it's like a couple of islands there. So they could all be dancing. And this could be a scene that was actually reenacted by dancing, dancing Egyptians. They would dress up as these island avatars and dance around and whatnot to raise the sun. Sundance Film Festival. So yeah, I like that. I like this idea that they're dancing. It's pretty much seems to be true. Or it seems very plausible at least. And yeah. So then let's see. We have this Mayan deity, Haiti, Santo Domingo. So it's just a map giving it as the name Haiti, which is an actual Native American, Native Haitian name. And this is the Mayan avatar from one of the codices, I believe. But I think to really understand the avatar, you have to see a bathymetric map, see the surrounding seamounts. So, here, I believe that this whole area is, all these high up seamounts, very shallow area. Not somewhere you want to somewhere you want to be very careful sailing so you don't run aground, especially if you have a large, one of those ancient large Egyptian boats with like 25 rowers on each side. You don't want to get stuck in Los Muertos trough. You know, it means the dead, trough of the dead. So, or maybe the trough is this part where it goes down. I don't know, but anyway, it might be relevant for sailors, so they want to know these seamounts. So that could be like this whole part. The reason why his shape is not kind of more pointy like the actual land of it is likely because it actually includes all this. And, you know, and that would explain the shape, because like this arm, it's like it goes up there and it curls around. So that would make sense kind of for here, how it curls there. But then what would explain this, unless it was including all these seamounts as the coastline? And, you know, it's quite conclusive in this, because it even, not only do they give him a hoof, they make this peninsula a hoof like the Egyptians did, but but they give it this little part sticking off of it, this little peninsula, and then they seem to also have this little I think it might be an island technically, but it's right on the coast on the other side. And yeah, stuff like that. And that is Haiti, Hispaniola in the Mayan cosmology. You know, a Mayan god. I mean, that's what the gods are. That's what real gods are, just like immortal. Everything immortal is a god. So every island is a god. Every star is a god. That's what God means in real English, you know. The language we spoke like 1,000 years ago. Oh, this, I kind of fucked this up, but basically I just wanted to show like what they did to this map. Like, where the fuck is this? This phone is too heavy. I'm like, can't even hold it steady. Too tired from holding banners all day. Like, had to hold this heavy ass banner to try to counteract our counter protesters that were waving their big Ukraine flag right in front of our protest to try to make it seem like we're a pro-Ukraine, you know, pro-Zelensky protest. I mean, like, yeah, we're pro-Ukraine as a country. We want peace in Ukraine. But I had to hold this big ass sign that was supposed to be held by 2 people for like half an hour or something. So anyway, this is the Hieropolitan 5,500-year-old map. Or, you know, this was that map. This is what the British Museum and the Egyptian Museum, run by the British government and the Egyptian government, this is what they did to it. So this is basically what they do to everything. They destroy pyramids in Mexico and then they rebuild them according to whatever they believe they claim to that it was supposed to look like, but they're always destroying actual artifacts, actual history. But this really takes the cake. You know, they destroyed the oldest painted tomb in Egypt, one of the oldest maps on Earth. So, I mean, people should go to jail for this. I mean, if people go to jail for anything, they should go to jail for this. These British, I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing how evil somebody could be to actually, they claim to believe that this was a stain, that the America part was a stain, and that really it's just supposed to be a painting of all these little figures, you know, which of course they don't believe are related to land or anything like that, but just, you know, oh, just primitive imagination or something. So they tried to erase this because then they wanted to see, like, oh, we got to see this horse's head because his head is stuck behind this stain. Oh no. And like, we need to find this bird over here, his head, it's stuck behind this stain, and we'll never know what it is until we finally clean the stain off. So yeah, they cleaned, that's what they call it. They say they cleaned it. The British Museum, in conjunction with the Egyptian Museum, cleaned the stain. They cleaned the map. They cleaned the mural. And guess what? He didn't have a head. Guess what? It didn't have a head. They don't have heads. They were never had heads. So they just destroyed this for nothing. It's fucking amazing to me. Anyway, I mean, I guess if there's any bright side, they did uncover some weird things that were underneath like North America for some reason. So that could be that originally the map was just avatars and then later they added the mainland on. But yeah, like, so